Welcome to Up at Noon. We did it, yeah! Comic-Con, day 3, 4, 5. It's been so long, but we're having so much fun. I'm Brian Altano. This is Max Scoville. We have an awesome show planned for you today. Usually we do these shows on Thursdays at noon on IGN, YouTube, and Twitch, but today we're doing it now. It's happening, it's live, and we have literally hundreds of toys down here to open up and play with. We have movies to talk about, TV shows, video games, all the kind of stuff we played and enjoyed.
Yeah, like
I don't even know how to begin to unpack this show. It's been so great so far.
Yeah, like let's take a minute to just talk about Comic-Con and how cool it is. We have a ridiculously cool job. So we get to, like, literally before this, I got to interview Harrison Ford and Ryan Gosling about Blade Runner 2049.
And Harrison Ford made fun of your shirt.
Yeah,
I can't understand why he would make fun of your shirt.
Oh, it's Jim Carrey. So like that, add that to the list of like Gene Simmons and several homeless people who've accused me of being the pet detective.
So like at that point, do you change shirts? Or you
Not
you
in
just
front
go
of
like,
Harrison Ford.
Well, no, I don't mean like take off your shirt in front of him, but I mean like, are you going to go like, I'm trying to collect as many insults towards my clothing as I can until I die, or am I going to go to the store and get a shirt that doesn't have dead plants on it?
No.
Good answer.
No.
So Comic-Con for me has been fantastic. I've been doing a lot of interviews here. It's been a lot of fun stuff. Yesterday we had the Black Eyed Peas on the show, and they came out to talk about a comic book. And without telling them, and this is the magic of this show, their PR people hired a guy to dress as the main character of the comic book that they wrote with Marvel, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. Now, the guy that they got is like 8 feet tall.
That is a huge man.
It's a huge man, and so he just kind of came out, and we're like, oh, the star of your comic is here. Okay, and the camera tilts up. I mean, you're used to that. You're tall. So they all came out, and we're all just like doing the interview, and it's like, okay, it's the Black Eyed Peas and a 7-foot-tall papier-mâché guy.
That was, it was like a papier-mâché mask, and then there was like an extra probably 8 inches of mohawk on top of that. Just a really imposing dude.
The show floor itself has been fantastic. It's one of my favorite conventions because you get to see like little kid versions of other people that you love in like comic books and video games. I only got farted on by 2 Thors this year, so that was good.
Wow, that's a record, yeah.
So we also come together at Comic-Con because of giant movie trailers, which are hard to watch in there because they project them on a wall sometimes and they're muffled. But we have them for you, and we're going to make them even harder to watch because we're going to talk over them. So these are 3 of our favorite movie trailers that we've gotten. Not TV, not video games, just movies. Starting with Kingsman 2. I don't know if you guys got to see this trailer. It's one of the most insane trailers I've ever seen. The first one was one of those movies that kind of came out of nowhere, sort of loosely based on kind of like 60s.
Well, it's Mark Millar, so it's kind of like he's sort of doing kind of a James Bond inspired kind of kick-ass approach. There's sort of this assassin Harry Potter thing going on, and this Matthew Vaughn directing, who did X-Men First Class and Kick-Ass, and the first one I saw it and I had a good time with it, and upon seeing this, I really want to go back and watch it again because there's so much. It's almost like Men in Black meets James Bond.
Totally.
There's just silly gadgets, and this time around they're teaming up with the Statesmen, who are sort of the American Kingsmen.
Yeah, we get to see the Kingsman headquarters just blown up in this movie. What I love about this is that it takes what James Bond does, where characters die and they come back and they write a story about it, and it seems unrealistic, but it works, and it just turns it into this like almost slapstick Looney Tunes approach. Everything from the fight scenes to character deaths to a character gets his arm cut off and comes back in this one with a robot arm. There's lassos now. Like, it's just fun.
Also, look at that fight choreography.
Dude, like, seriously, they made the chair a character in this movie. Like, you just get to throw around. It reminds me of, like, Jackie Chan and James Bond colliding.
Yeah, but with, like, way higher production values.
So I got to interview the cast of this movie the other night, and they have tremendous chemistry. The one person I didn't get to talk to is Julianne Moore, who plays basically Martha Stewart on crack. And that's the way they're describing it. That's not my punctuation.
Okay.
She's super obsessed with cheeseburgers, just like Sam Jackson was in the last movie. And she just really wants to bring the world together so she can get rich enough to be on the Forbes 500 list legally. Which is hard to do when you're a drug dealer.
Okay, that's a pretty good reason to want to do that. I just love that, like, Channing Tatum's in this, because honestly, I'd watch that dude, like, eat a sandwich. He's just entertaining.
I think I would watch him just order a sandwich.
Yeah. I think they're actually doing that next. It's Channing Tatum orders a sandwich.
Coming up next, something a little more intimate is The Shape of Water. I don't know why a little more.
I was going to make fun of you for that. I don't want to go totally
We've got the great hit film, The Shape of Water, from Guillermo del Toro. The Shape of Water is coming up. It's, I believe, about a woman who falls in love with Swamp Thing.
I was going to say the creature from the Black Lagoon. But,
yeah,
sure. I mean, it's Abe Sapien, basically.
You want to actually me on a live show? That's cool.
It's a fish pan. But I love, like, I saw something on Twitter that was really funny about this, where it was like, Del Toro throws down a script. He's talking to producers and he goes, yeah, she falls in love with a merman, and they're
Yep.
like, oh, you mean like a half fish, half handsome man? And did I stutter? You know, like, no, it's a fish man. One thing I don't like about this trailer is I feel like it really gives away too many beats. Just it shows off like way too many parts of what's going on in this movie. But it's also a Del Toro movie, so it might not all be what it seems. But
yeah, and I think it's going to have a fantastic mix of sort of cool character design, practical effects, which we get to see a lot of. There were rumors that this is sort of like in the Hellboy universe.
I don't think that's the case.
You don't think so?
No. I think that's too close. I think he probably learned how to elicit a good emotional response from somebody in a fish costume from working.
That's hard to do
in the Hellboy films. But yeah, and I love that this is a serious movie that just happens to have a fish person in it.
Yeah, and it's got this sort of E.T. element. Michael Shannon plays a scientist who's like, cut this thing apart and find out how it works. And the lady's like, I love him though.
Yeah. I like
We're being incredibly reductive.
This has got some of my favorite things. It's got hard-boiled eggs,
Yep.
Benny Goodman,
Yep.
Michael Shannon,
Yep.
fish people.
Yep.
It's going to be good. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm probably going to wind up crying watching this movie.
I love a good hard-boiled egg in a
Yeah.
film. Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, okay, so
let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I don't want to show any more of that trailer because it just gives away everything. You and I got to do a Blade Runner activation. We'll talk about it in a minute. This movie, it was in hiding for what, decades now? How long was the last time we got a Blade Runner movie?
I mean, the first one came out in 1982, and then was re-released in, I think, 1994 with the director's cut, which wasn't really a director's cut. And then we got the final cut in, like, 2011 or something. This is a brand new Blade Runner movie. It's directed by Denis Villeneuve, who has a cool name and did, like, Sicario and Arrival, and it looks gorgeous. It looks incredible. We got Ryan Gosling kind of picking up, it's kind of a passing of the torch. Dave Bautista's in there, and he's going to throw somebody through a wall, of course.
That's what he does.
That's in his contract.
Do that in every movie.
Yeah, even in, like, Victorian period pieces, he's still got to throw somebody through a wall. And
the walls are cheaper.
Mercy. Yeah, like, I just got to talk to the director about this, and I think they all kind of know that there is this huge, huge expectation to revisit this universe, because Blade Runner is, I would say, pretty much a perfect movie, depending on which cut you're watching. And they're going back there. Good news is they're leaning very heavily on practical effects and actual set design. All the kind of the terrifying streets and like, alleyways and neon signs and everything, they built that stuff.
Yeah, I really love just the tone of this trailer and all the trailers we've seen so far, the promotional footage, the stills. This is the kind of movie that I will immediately buy the art book for.
Yeah.
Just geek out at all the sketches and stuff like that. I'm wondering if it'll lean more into a sort of action movie, or like if they're really just going to head on hit the thing about whether or not Deckard is a replicant,
Sure.
Like, that went from being something that no one talked about for a long time. That Ridley Scott was kind of like, there's no answer to that. It's open-ended, to him just in an interview being like, yeah, he is. He's a robot.
Yeah, depending on which version you watch, it's kind of it's an entirely different movie. But I gave Harrison Ford a hard time about the fact that he's just wearing a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like in the original, he's wearing like a plaid tie and this cool giant coat, and this one he's just like, it's a hand-me-down from J. Crew. Like,
it belongs in a museum.
Yeah. He said it makes sense in the context of the movie. I love that we were getting all these kind of beautiful sizzle shots of this, but we still don't exactly really know what's going on.
I wish I could wear a T-shirt to work and be like, this makes sense within the context of my day. And people are like, oh, it's fine.
Dude, you talk about science fiction films for a living. You could probably
totally
pull it
could.
off.
I know, I got to dress it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think one of the cool things we haven't talked about that you probably can't hear because we're babbling, but the soundtrack from this movie is awesome.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a throwback to the original. We've seen a lot of that sort of like very synthy heavy 80s music make a comeback over the last decade or so.
Yeah, I mean, it's Vangelis did the original score. It's one of the best synth soundtracks ever.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, I wouldn't surprise me if they got them back to do some of this, but
yeah.
Yeah.
So you and I were kind of on the fence on this movie, obviously, because, we're man babies from the 80s, and we were like, don't screw up this thing.
They changed the thing.
They made a new thing, and I love it. It was perfect.
They put the La La Land man in the movie.
But we found out the other day that they were doing a Blade Runner sort of activation here.
Yeah.
And that's a word that doesn't mean anything.
Let's talk about that for a second. Activation basically means think like a carnival game or ride, but using it to promote something.
Yeah.
It's an internal marketing term. It's a thing they throw around. I believe it's going to be kind of a household term in terms of fan culture after a while, because what do you call something that's like a temporary VR experience promoting something? So that's, for lack of a better word. But yeah, the Blade Runner one, they were like something virtual reality experience.
They effectively just rented a parking lot, put a tent on it. We're like, oh, what could possibly be inside?
Yeah.
So we went in there and we shot a video and we were kind of amazed. So let's take a look.
Hey guys, Max and Brian here for IGN Access. We are at San Diego Comic-Con 2017, and we are at the Blade Runner 2049 experience. Brian, what do we know about this?
So we know there might be a VR thing, and then that's about it. But they basically took a parking lot in San Diego, put a gigantic tent with Blade Runner fonts all over it, and are letting us in to mess around, and everything else will be a surprise.
Yeah, let's go take a look.
Let's do it.
So obviously, if you know Blade Runner, you know the Void Conf test to see whether or not you are a real person or a replicant. The question is, are replicants real people? Well, we got to watch Blade Runner 2049 to find out, but the good news is I am in fact a flesh and blood, normal, old-fashioned human.
So these noodles are really good. I'm trying to stay away from like noodles and carbs and breads and stuff like that, but I'm in Blade Runner. Who cares?
I can't eat this. This is a shirt. I wanted Raw Gnaw, the snack of the future.
So that's the Blade Runner activation here at San Diego Comic-Con 2017. Oh my God!
Yeah,
I don't even know where to start.
They went completely all out. You got virtual reality to start it out to get nice and futuristic. Then there's replicants, there's flying cars, there's laser guns, there's whiskey, there's noodles, there's fog, there's real snow.
I ran out of fingers.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. We don't get to see anything really on this scale. This feels like something you would see at like a Disney theme park or something like that.
Yeah,
like this is huge.
You know, not counting the whiskey and sex workers walking around.
Well, that too.
Cops hassling you. But yeah, this is really cool. One of my favorite things about Blade Runner is just the sheer density of detail in it, and they didn't skip any of that here. So
yeah, I feel like they really captured that here. So for all things Blade Runner, sci-fi, and everything else, IGN Comic-Con 2017, you're already in the right place. Stick around. All right, we got to take a quick break, which gives you more than enough time to follow IGN on Twitter.
We've got breaking news, trailers, sneak peeks, and more. Well, not more, but that's a lot of stuff, so, you know, stick around.
And stay tuned because IGN Live is coming back at you next.
IGN Live at San Diego Comic-Con 2017 is presented by The Gifted, premiering October 2nd on Fox.
You find yourself in a different world. A world where you're hunted. And everything changes. Forever.
I told you I'd see you again, didn't I? You and me, we're two threads in the same stitch. You see, I met some inspiring people out here, made some new friends.
Hello there. Hi.
Hi.
You didn't see us behind these exclusive Star Wars Black Series toys.
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 Toys. They're smaller versions of the people we know and have never met, such as science fiction legend Luke Skywalker.
And his car.
We've got so many awesome toys. Okay, so let's start.
Yeah,
we've got a whole bunch of toys we're going to unbox here. We're going to play with them. This is all the stuff you can get exclusively at Comic-Con. If you're not here, we have it. If not, go on eBay and scalp.
Really good news here, though, is Hasbro does a good thing where a lot of the kind of exclusive angle of their toys is either accessories or packaging or kind of a combination thereof.
Yeah.
Let's start with the really big thing here.
Let's start with the big one.
These are the first toys from Episode 8, The Last Jedi. This is the first time we've gotten a Luke Skywalker in his crusty old man outfit, or Rey in her new kind of like, you know, Jedi robes. These are $50 for the two of them, and the good news is I think they're going to be coming out on their own.
Yeah,
separately.
definitely have to. So this is actually the first time we're seeing Luke in the old man costume. You see at the end of episode 7, he's got his robot hand, and Rey's got her new costume from episode 8, which is sort of like a darker gray, almost capier version than the one she
It's like a kimono kind of thing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, what's really cool is they did basically the same thing last year with Jyn Erso, and it was kind of the same box. I feel like 5 years from now, if they keep up this steady clip of unveiling Star Wars toys at Comic-Con and coming back to them, it's going to be cool to have kind of like a wall of these. I think they understand that people who want to play with the toys probably hold out for the regular ones they sell in stores, but they've got these cool, almost like kind of like Wall Street Journal. Oh my, what are you doing? You're opening the toy.
Opening the toy.
What's wrong with you? You're opening the toy.
This is prison. You have to break them out of prison.
It's Han Solo who gets frozen in carbonite, not Luke Skywalker.
I'm holding Luke Skywalker.
All right,
so I want to talk about the accessories real quick, or lack thereof. Rey actually comes with a lightsaber and a blaster. Luke doesn't come with anything. Not even like a sandwich. Like, what is he doing on this planet? What about those little porgies that we know about? So many questions.
That's a cool noise.
There we go.
Yeah, so Rey looks really sad. She's kind of got like a.
Hey, how are you? It's me, Luke Skywalker.
Hey, I had to find a map. It took a whole movie to find the map, and I was going to come visit, and you're just not even talking to me.
So on top of that, if you remember Luke back in his good days when he was just chilling, we have this right here, which is the Land Speeder. It's $90. It comes with a Luke Skywalker action figure. I want to point out something real quick.
This is, of course,
Ladies and gentlemen, don't do drugs.
I was going to say before and after Comic-Con, but sure. No, these are. This is cool. Basically, the Comic-Con exclusive angle of this is I think the detailing is better, but this is going to come. That's going to come out on its own later.
Yep.
And I like that the hood opens up so you can reenact that scene from Tommy Boy.
Yeah, so we've seen this Luke Skywalker before in the 6-inch scale from Hasbro Black Series. They gave him a new sculpt on his head now, so he looks a little bit better. He's still got this weird kind of like, he looks like he's at a soccer game and it's windy out. He's like, yay!
Yeah.
Or he's like, wind diving. This is really cool because the hood pops up. You can put little WD-40 cans in there like the movie Tommy Boy. It's a great film. You should watch it after Comic-Con. Lastly, let's talk Thrawn.
Yeah, so Grand Admiral Thrawn, if you know your expanded universe, basically he came back in Heir to the Empire, one of the coolest kind of first expanded universe characters that really helped reestablish Star Wars. And then when kind of Disney came in and sort of removed all of the expanded universe stuff from canon, everyone was pretty bummed because he's a really cool character, had all this backstory stuff. But then they brought him back in Star Wars Rebels and gave him his own book. So for Comic-Con, they made this big, huge box set that is, it's $50. It's like, he's got all these artifacts. His whole deal is that he studies cultures by buying their art and analyzing their weaknesses, and that makes him a great Grand Admiral. But yeah, this figure will be sold by itself later on, but it won't come with all this all this hoarder stuff. All these
I like
antiques.
this weird little lizard closet he's got up there.
Yeah. One thing that's really cool is that I don't know what those are. There's some dumb artifact, some collectible statue he probably bought here. But yeah, I love that for the Comic-Con exclusive stuff. There's no plastic there, so you can touch him. You can you could probably take him out of the box and play with him and then put him back. Not too difficult.
I think that's the cool thing, right? We're always trying to find that balance between how do you store a figure and how do you pop it out. This is probably one of the coolest things at Comic-Con.
Now,
Max, let's talk about this.
Yeah. So this is NECA's Ninja Turtles box set. Ninja Turtles the cartoon turns 30 this year. It came out in '87. This thing will run you $200. Let's show what's inside here. This is amazing. Last year they did a set of Ninja Turtles that were based on the Konami arcade game, and this time around they're just doing it from the actual cartoon. What's not good news is that if you don't get this at Comic-Con or you weren't able to grab it online, you're kind of out of luck because these guys are only coming together as a set.
Yeah.
They're limited to 5,000 pieces.
Yep. So again, you get 4 heroes, 4 villains. So 2 foot soldiers, Shredder,
right.
Krang, and his cool little, I don't know if you can see,
I love that
his
thing.
Little weird chicken walker thing.
I think we can...
all these extra pieces, there's a pizza in there.
Yep.
There's baby turtles. There's extra hands,
let's
swords,
get the glare
knives,
off of there. You can take
everything.
a look at that right there. These are really nice.
I
I went to the NECA booth and I asked if these would be broken up and sold separately, and they won't. This is kind of that was to get the license to do this. They kind of had to just sell it this way, which is sort of a bummer. I kind of just want Shredder, but we probably won't be getting that. So
yeah, the box is awesome too.
Yeah, so $200 if you can get your hands on it here. Otherwise, you're probably going to get screwed by some guy on eBay.
Let's talk Bandai.
Yeah.
Because they have cool stuff. They're working with the Dragon Ball and Power Rangers licenses.
They do, I think they understand that people who come to Comic-Con, They're cool with buying some crazy things. Do you want to start with Goku here?
Yeah, let's do that.
This is pretty straightforward.
One of your favorite people in the entire world.
Hey, Goku's great. So this is Super Saiyan Goku. This is Comic-Con exclusive, like Deco, I think. I honestly should have done more research here. This is $35. Super articulated. This is in scale with the Star Wars Black Series, Marvel Legends. If you want to do some weird fan fiction stuff,
like you could put him in Luke's car if you want.
Yeah, and he's got extra hands for doing Kamehameha Wave stuff. Really nice. They also just do this black and gold packaging, kind of across lines, which is really nice. So if you walk out of their booth with a bunch of their things, it all matches.
Yeah, super cool. But now, if you're more of a Power Rangers guy and you want jewelry to wear everywhere,
this is where it gets nuts. I think last year they had like a Red Ranger's sword or something that like it had metal parts and it made noises and it was some obscenely expensive thing. This is a $100 Zeo Gold Ranger Legacy communicator that let's see.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey, that's my dealer, man. Yeah, is it Zordon? Yeah, I don't. You can actually take it to a jeweler and get one of those little tiny pins to put in there so it actually fits. This is made for somebody with a huge wrist.
Yeah,
of course.
You can get it brought down a little bit so it fits you. Next up, we've got Lego Marvel and DC exclusive blockheads. These are sort of like Funko Pops that you can build.
Brickheads.
Brickheads.
Yes. So yeah,
I would have called them blockheads.
They do this ridiculous. I mean, getting your hands on Comic-Con exclusive stuff is tricky. These guys are $40 a pop, but basically they stagger it. So if you want Marvel stuff, I believe it was like you had to be there on Friday or Sunday, and DC stuff was Thursday and Saturday, and you got to get there early and line up and get a ticket to enter yourself in a raffle to buy one of these things, that's kind of a headache. You might as well just eat it and buy it on eBay and go enjoy your time at Comic-Con.
But on top of that, let's talk about the coolest character at Comic-Con. We just saw him for a second there, Deadpool Duck.
Deadpool Duck. This is
what?
So
look at that guy.
They gave us this, and against my better judgment, I looked on eBay, and this thing is already going for $300 because people who collect Lego minifigs are terrifying.
Yeah.
These aren't even. They don't even charge for these. These were part of a raffle. If you showed up and you won a ticket, they give you a minifig. I remember when I first went to Comic-Con in 2006, the whole thing was like, yeah, go to the booth and you get a piece of swag. You get like a cool sticker or a patch or something. I mean, they would give away a minifig because they're like, hey, you took the trouble of coming here. Now they're like, enter the raffle and you may win the chance to get the thing that you could probably pay your rent with on eBay.
Yep.
And then of course they have Vixen from Legends of Tomorrow.
If you are very old, you might remember Muscle, or M-U-S-C-L-E. They partnered with Super 7 to make Muscle aliens. So they used to come in this cool little bucket.
So the original Muscle, I forget what it stood for, but they've been doing this with a bunch of licenses. I think they've got Street Fighter, they've got Robotech, they've got not just Aliens, but Alien, they've got He-Man, they've got some of their own original stuff, but basically they're making these weird little monster characters you can screw with, and for each one of them, they're making up a special acronym. In the case of the Xenomorphs, it's millions of unusual small creatures lurking everywhere, which I think is slightly different from whatever the original was. But yeah,
I love this little bucket of toys. They're awesome little figurines. There's like chest hatchers coming out of their bodies and stuff like that. Like, just take a look at that sort of Queen and Power Loader set. They also make this in a yellow variant. The back of the card's got comics on it and everything like that. So very true to form. I really love it. Let's talk about the actual worst.
Yeah, these are the worst. They're like here.
No,
yeah, they're called the worst. That's the name of the line. Super 7 does a lot of. They do kind of like, I guess you could call them like art toys. Like kind of they're hipster vinyl, but these are pretty much. These are done in the style of old like retro Kenner figures. They're part of the. I think they're part of the Reaction line, which is taking kind of modern sensibilities and applying them to like older toy designs. In this case, these are called the Star Worst. And they're all done as sort of weird homages to the original Kenner Star Wars toys. In this case, they took this Gas Phantom, an original character of their own creation, and made him the same decoration as the original Kenner Greedo. In this case, this guy's obviously Vader.
I really love these.
X2 the Unknown, but he's an X-Wing pilot. And then there's this Snake Pharaoh guy who's wearing an Imperial uniform. Mm-hmm. They're just weird. They're just very strange toys, and I really love it. Like, this is the kind of stuff I draw pictures of, and somebody out there is making action figures of
I hope they make like a comic book line out of them and an animated series and all that. Now, Max, do we have an owl back here named Goose?
No, we have a little seal man. If you read Saga,
calling him an owl.
Keep calling him an owl. If you read Saga, Saga is one of the best comics out right now. I'm totally drawing a blank on the author's name. Really good stuff from Image. They're doing wonderful things. Last year they had a statue of the lion cat. In this case, it's Goose, the little fisherman seal. Brian K. Vaughan is his name, and Fiona Staples does the art. This is an adorable little plushy man, and he comes with different outfits. So if you want to put him in his little Gorton's fisherman, rain slicker, or like a little undershirt, you can do that. This is cute as hell. This is $40, and I mean they had plenty of them. I think they're like, oh, it's exclusive, but I think they're gonna make it easy for people to get.
If you want even more plushies, we've got Stubbins. This is Ratchet in his Crack in Time variant costume, and Red Hat or Red Beanie Parappa. These guys are both available at other cons. So this guy was PSX exclusive, and he was actually from Nerd Block. But we brought them out today because they're on the show floor. You can pick them up. They're really cool. The same company also makes these awesome retro controllers. These right here, they work for your NES and PC and Mac. So they've got like an actual adapter on them for your original NES. And like in 2017, how cool is that? Let's see, last but not least, Cyanide and Happiness, good friends of the show, started blind boxing these tiny little vinyl figurines.
Yeah, this is a webcomic that's been around for 10 years or more. These guys are, I mean, they've kind of had their little style guide here. They've got their blue-shirted man, but they've also got newer characters like Butt Shark.
The shark butt. Spin that boy around. Look at that butt.
It's a shark with a butt.
That's a great butt for a shark.
These guys, I think they're doing a series of these blind box. They're launching them at a pop-up, not actually at Comic-Con. If you're around San Diego, they've got a pop-up shop. Look it up. It's explosum.net. I don't know how much these guys are selling for. They have one exclusive minifig specifically for Comic-Con, and it is a figurine of God. So if you're here, you can grab that.
Exclusive God figurine available at Comic-Con. This is not all the exclusives we have here at the show. We actually opened up some more back in San Francisco.
Oh, boy.
But here's the thing. Right before we started shooting the video, we found a whole bag of fake mustaches, so things got really weird. Here's the video.
Hey, everybody. Max and Brian here, and we are totally at Comic-Con right now.
Yeah, check out our disguises.
We never recognized us on account of our disguises.
We're cosplaying as older people.
Yes. Someday puberty will come for us. But in the meantime, Mattel was good enough to send over their San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, of which they have quite a few. Oh, look at that.
I lost my moustache.
Okay, well anyway, Spider-Man Homecoming might have just swung into theaters, and the Spider-Mobile from Hot Wheels is driving into Comic-Con.
You're probably wondering how Spider-Man gets around that city so fast. It's a car.
He has a car. It's a small car. As you can see, it was in Spider-Man number 130. He says, now that's what I call a fiasco.
In Spider-Man's high school, you're allowed to drive a dune buggy at age 16, so it just works out. Believe it.
This will run you $15.
What?
It's a car. That's not the only exclusive car coming out of Comic-Con. There's also the Justice League Batmobile, which will run you $25.
Achi mama!
Stop. This one has a bit of a fancier package. It opens up and you can see that there is the brand new Justice League vehicle, the Flying Fox.
What?
Yeah.
Does it have an animal in it?
Like a bat car.
This looks like a firework.
Look at the little door opens up and the car. Does the car
Where's the car?
How do we get the car out? Trying to get the car out of the thing. Trying to get the thing. Trying to get it out of there.
Get the car out of the thing.
I don't know how to open this without.
Gotta get the car.
There it is. So there it is. There's a little Batmobile, as you will soon see in the Justice League film, and it's got a little gun that moves around. It's a Hot Wheels.
World's fastest cars. Take the box. Coming up next, Cars 1, 2, and 3, represented in Cars 1, 2, and 3, the Cars form.
3 of them.
3 cars for the box of 1.
And it's only $30.
That's
Lightning McQueen. Ka-chow! Destiny fans will undoubtedly be very excited about the Mega Bloks, Mega Constructs, Ghost Box, Iron Song. It's a lot of Destiny words put together. The point is, you get to assemble a cool ghost, and it's one of these old guys. I'm not going to build it right now, but it's a very nice box.
And if you're hungry, free plate.
Don't eat off of that. It probably isn't good for you. It's $40.
This is free. Hey Max, I love robots.
And I love men.
What if there was somebody that combined the both?
I have great news for you, and it's called the Cyborg. It's incredibly loud. This is, of course, the Cyborg Origins Edition action figure.
What?
Complete with mother box sound effects.
What?
It's very, very loud, so if anyone comes in your house and you want to scare them away, just whip it open. Because it sounds like old bees.
That's the Cyborg noise.
It's actually pretty cool. All right, go on. This one's $25.
Good deal on a Cyborg.
Now finally, here's the real doozy. For $45, you can get yourself the DC Superhero Girls 2-pack of Wonder Woman and Cheetah.
And some feet.
Huge, huge feet. Real big ones.
Big stompers.
Look at those. Look at, they got real hair.
And
just
whips.
like us.
And remember,
Yeah.
And those are just 6 of the best things you can buy at San Diego Comic-Con, the year 2017.
Yes, lots of toys out there. Huge thank you to Mattel for sending these over. And whoever left this box of mustaches sitting there, because we had a grand old time.
Aha! I bet you didn't recognize us. Comic-Con is full of surprises.
My lip really hurts.
I can't believe they let us do that. That's seriously the dumbest thing we've ever made.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. Don't
Sorry.
forget to turn those IGN notifications on if you want the latest breaking news from Comic-Con. And if you don't, well, why are you watching this?
Hey, calm down. We have to take another break, but IGN Live is back.
We'll be back in just
I'm
a
hitting
moment.
puberty.
Just a few seconds, we'll be right back. Thank
We've
you
got
so
a
much.
full day of coverage from Comic-Con, so don't go anywhere.
Bye.